Hi everyone, my name is Abel Greek Antoma. This is my WhatsApp contact. You can reach me on this number or call me on any of these numbers, okay? Today I want to introduce you to a very powerful software called the Clove 3D. So if you are a fashion designer, please come closer. It's important that for you to watch this video to the end. Make sure you like, drop a comment, go down below the description of this video. You'll find a link to this channel. Visit the channel and actually keep yourself busy, okay? You can see this is Clove 3D. If you're a fashion designer, it is very important for you to have this. The first thing I'm going to do is to bring in my avatar. So you can see I have that of my male avatar and that of female avatar and that of kids, and as well I can also import an avatar. Okay, so you can see this is an avatar in different kind of pose. So if I simply just double click on it, it's going to load on my window. Interesting, this is the 3D and this is the 2D, and on this video I'm going to quickly show you how to come about a t-shirt. All right, very interesting. You can see these are very interesting tools here. It is in my nature to always make every course easier and faster for everyone. All I am going to do here is just to use some of the common shortcut keys that you are going to be using for every kind of pattern you want to actually come up with. All right, so let's quickly jump into it. The first thing I'm going to do is to create a rectangle. Now if you go carefully on each of these tools, these are the most common tools that we use in our Clove 3D, but I'm going to be using some of the very interesting shortcut keys. I will just press S on my keyboard to give me a rectangle. I can draw a rectangle like this, so once I draw a rectangle, you can see I want to come up with a pattern. Similarly, I can actually add some points to this rectangle by just typing X. Just click on X on your keyboard. It allows you to specify any point. So I can just add a point here and I'll press Z. Now Z allows you to edit a pattern. So I can just click here and drag to any point that I want. Okay, so similarly I will press X to add a point. So I can just add a point here. Mind you, I'm not your regular tailor. By the grace of God Almighty, I'm a civil engineer by profession, and for many years, about 10 years now, I've been practicing fully as an engineer. So if I can do this, you can also do this. All right, so I'm going to be training you, giving you deep insight on how to come about any kind of design on your Clove 3D. Now the interesting thing about the Clove 3D is by the time you are able to do your design, it will be on this avatar. From there you'll be able to know all the stress area, where it's going to be too tight and where it's going to be very free on the body. Using the simulation, it actually tells you how it's going to look like on your client. Now another interesting thing about this is you can just take your measurement on your client. You can from here be able to input all the informations here. You can see the waist, you can input all the information for the hip, for the low hip, for the bicep. All this information can be imputed here, and it will develop the avatar exactly just like that of your body shape of your client. So this is one very important tool in our Clove 3D that we are going to explore as well. So by the time I'm able to come up with this, I can similarly just right click on this and do what we call from my 3D, let me use A. This is A. I can type A to select this. can just right click and I'll come to symmetric pattern with sewing. So if I use the symmetric pattern, you can see I can just align this as it is like this. So I've been able to get this pattern. So I can similarly copy this both. I'll hold on shift to copy to select the two of them. I can hold on Ctrl C to copy and then Ctrl V to paste. Now you can see I've been able to paste this. So similarly, I can on 3D rather, I can just make sure I highlight these both and then I will drag them here, select this, hold on shift, I will double click. Once this comes out, I can drag this and just align it with this one. Okay, so you can align it. Once you align it, then you can then drag this to the back. So you can see I have dragged this to the back. Similarly, let's just look what we have here. For this, some of the time this area may be a bit dark, so you can see here it's looking dark. So the inside should be darker, the outside is a bit lighter. So you can hold on shift to flip this. So if I right click, I can flip normal. So once I click on flip normal, it's going to flip that for me. Alright, so I've been able to achieve this. So the next thing I'm going to do here is to sew this. I can just sew this immediately. So let's do the sewing and see how it's going to look like. You can see this B here is for you to edit your sewing. This one is for you to do a segment sewing. This one is for you to do a free sewing. So I'm going to show you how to come about that right away. So if I click on segment sewing, all I need to do is to click here and make sure this is straight. So once I have a straight line, I will do similarly. Mind you, you can see whatever I do on the left hand side will take place on the right hand side, but I can separate them in a way that this will be entirely independent from this. But for this tutorial, I'm going to leave it as it is. Then I will sew this middle as well. So you can do your sewing. Mind you, let me press this. This allows you to, you can expand this and make it bigger. You can similarly adjust this area and make this a bit open, however you want to do it. This is a very flexible, it has very flexible tools that makes your work way more easier and faster to actually achieve. All right, so if you already like what you are seeing, make sure you like this video, just give it a thumbs up. Okay, subscribe to this channel, it's actually 100% free. Click on the bell icon so as for you to get a notification whenever I post videos. I post very interesting educative videos like this on a weekly, sometimes on a daily, just to encourage as many that actually want to have a deeper insight of design. All right, so I will try to move this a bit and then expand this. Sorry, the other way. Supposed to expand this way instead. For this, I can take it in. Alright, so this is basically how it should look like. So I can decide to sew this. So let's do a sewing here. Click here, click here. That has been sewn. Similarly, I will rotate this. I will click. Okay, I don't think, okay, sewn now. Let me sew this as well. right. Make sure your sewing line is not twisted. You can see mine is not twisted. Make sure it's not twisted. So if it is going diagonally, it should go diagonal. If it's going vertically, it should go vertically as well. All right, so similarly for this, I can do for this. So let's simulate this, and let's sew this, do a simulation first and see how this is going to look like on this avatar. So if I press on my shift, you can see how it's looking like. So it has dropped on his body. Right, so I will control Z. I need to sew here and here, sew here and here as well, in order for me to have a perfect result. Okay, so I can pan this by pressing the middle button on my mouse to pan. So if I click on this, I will click here and make sure I'm having a straight line. So you can see this is straight. So similarly, I'll click here. I'll click here. Sorry. Pardon. All right, good. Now we are done with this. I can just press enter to have this. All right. So you can see this is not well balanced on this body because the material is too tight on this body, right? So there are other things that we can do, but let's go quickly. Let me show you something very interesting about this software that will blow your mind. Now if you come to, you can see this is the stress mark, right? So if I click on stress, this is on pressure. You know, pressure is force over area. If you look at this, this is telling us that there is more pressure along this area. So what that means is that this cloth is too tight around this region. So we need to increase the material and make it bigger so that it can loosen up at the top here. You can see this is just telling us at 0.00 you can see there is less stress at the bottom here, some of the areas here. As you go up to this part, this is where you are having up to 100 kPa, which is pressure, right? So what we need to do is to increase this material, and we can do that from here. We can do that from here to loosen this up. So we can loosen this up by increasing this a bit. So